Hello, everybody. This is Scott Hudspeth's Agent Mastermind. Welcome back from a long weekend. I hope everybody had an amazing time with their families and just was able to be outside enjoying this beautiful weather we're having in Michigan for once. So, Stacy, I have a dear friend on the phone, a lady that is just her and her team. I can't believe the numbers. They're amazing numbers, so I'm going to let her share with you what she did in 2013, and she's already ahead of 2013 as far as numbers. So having an amazing career out in Denver, Colorado. Stacy Staub is with us. She was with us about a year ago. Stacy, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having me back.
Good. So, no, you know what, and I'm honored and excited and just privileged to have you on the call with us, and I appreciate you reaching out to us. So, Stacy, has changed. Now, you told me before this call started you've changed roles in your team since the last time we talked.
Yeah, so lucky me. Since the last time I was on, which I think was almost 2 years ago, actually, I am now Director of Marketing for Live Urban, which it's really the part of the business that I truly love. I'm still selling, and I still get to work with clients because I love that too. But what I really love to do is promote the brand and help our agents build their businesses. So I get to do that almost full-time now, which is awesome. So I still sell houses to the people that I really love working with. I refer out a lot of business to my team, and we do a lot of kind of business that way. But yeah, I get to sit in the office a little bit more and get a lot more computer time, which I really like.
Beautiful, beautiful. So do you mind sharing your numbers? Because I think it's beyond impressive, and I think that if they know who's on the phone, they might not and I would recommend not multitasking, because she's going to share some really cool stuff of how she's been able to get her numbers to where they are. You want to share what you did in 2012, what you did in 2013, and then where you're at right now?
So yeah, I think we did, and I should have had the numbers in front of me. I didn't know you were going to ask me this. I think we did about just over 50 million in 2012. We topped that last year as a team. Then when I was last here, it was just me and my mom, and now there's 3 of us. We've brought on her partner Mark, who is also an appraiser, which is great to have on the team. And so I'd love to talk about what the brokerage does. Actually, we did over 200 sides last year and topped 200 million. So yeah, we've been busy here in Denver.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so
good for you. So you're going to share with us why you guys are doing, like how and why, and what, like your role of what you're doing as far as what's helping you guys have so much success. I'm going to let you take it away. I'm going to take notes. I know that I looked over your PowerPoint, so I love what you're going to share with us.
Yeah, so I'd love to just jump right in, because there is a ton of information, and I've kind of come up with some new strategies since the last time that I was on, and you'll hear some of the same things, because I think a lot of the things we talked about last time, this is all long game. We're not talking about, immediate return. It's all about building your business and building your sphere and getting people to your website and transforming those online relationships into real business. So full disclosure, this presentation is full of photos, and no lie, there's probably 200 photos in this presentation. So I'm going to go through fairly fast, because there's a lot of information, and I want to make sure and have time for questions if possible. But just know that I'm going to provide a list of links if you let me know that you'd like it. I have this all in one document where you can click and see these, at your leisure. So don't frantically take notes about the sources if you don't want to. So I love just using all of this collateral. So let me just start there, actually. So your marketing should be full of photos, and I'm going to tell you why. This is a shocking statistic, but Pinterest is now the fourth largest driver of all web traffic, according to Mashable. So that's a huge deal. Think about that. Pinterest drives 1/4 of all of the traffic on the web. That's really important. And so if you're not on Pinterest and your photos aren't on Pinterest, you are losing a huge opportunity. And also because, according to Google, eyes are drawn to articles and information that contain photos. Statistically, too, now that Facebook, they're constantly changing their algorithms, but I've seen statistics like your post, if it has a photo, will get seen by 5 to 10 times more people if there's a photo in the post. So that's really important to take a moment. Don't just say, I'm at field day with my kids. Take a picture of your kid at field day and post that on Facebook, and 10 times more people might see it. So
well, you know what's funny about that, Stacy, and I won't interrupt you anymore after this, but like when I'm going through Facebook on the feed, I literally scroll till I see pictures. I don't read the actual post without pictures because pictures, like they say 1,000 words. So what you're saying is, and I don't know who else does that, but I know I'm attracted to pictures. Like when I go to a restaurant, I hate menus without pictures. If there's no menus without pictures, I will watch the waitresses come by or waiters come by with food on the tray so I can visually see what the heck they're serving. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big deal.
Totally. Well, Facebook definitely agrees with you. And so that's a lot of what this presentation is about, actually how to include photos in your posts and how to get the most out of taking the time to do that. So what the heck is collateral anyway? When I talk about real estate collateral, from a marketing standpoint, I'm talking about everything that you create and you use in your business to help you promote yourself and your brand. So these are just a bunch of different examples of how we've kind of optimized the opportunities that photos create and turn that into traffic to our website, traffic to our open houses, engagement on our Facebook pages, and growing our followers on all the different platforms. So quick examples, every weekend I put together an open house schedule. It's on our website. But to get people to that schedule, I always put together, one of the houses that we're featuring this weekend and just take a minute with PicMonkey. So that's picmonkey.com, super easy to use, to put text on top of photos. I can't even tell you what a difference that will make as far as engagement with and clicks through your Facebook page to your website if you just take a minute to do that, especially on Pinterest. If you guys have spent any time on Pinterest, you know that you're far more likely to click on a photo that has text on it because you know what that photo then is going to bring you. You know the information that it's offering. So whether it's a banana bread recipe or how to paint your kitchen cabinet DIY, if there's a picture that explains what information you're going towards, and there's text on it that kind of is like the headline or like the goal of the post, you're far more likely to click on it. So another example, one of our most popular blog posts last year was how far is it around City Park in Denver? So we created a little graphic, just text on a photo to go with it, and we get a lot of traffic to that post. And of course we use it everywhere, Google+, Twitter, Pinterest especially, Facebook. So just by taking that extra couple of minutes and putting in a little more effort, you'll get so much more use out of all of this collateral. So some of these other things, a testimonial, and I like to introduce new Live Urban agents to the market with a cute little graphic that they can share on Facebook, and we get a lot of engagement out of those kinds of posts. So I'm going to go through a lot of different categories of collateral and how you can use them to build your business. And the first one I think is the most obvious. It's listing photos. Whenever you take a new listing, you should be spending a lot of money on the photos, right? If you're not, you're missing a huge opportunity. I think even a low-end condo can look like $1 million, and it's totally worth taking the time, effort, and spending the money on a professional photographer to take great pictures, because long after that listing has sold, you can use those listing photos in a bajillion different ways to continue to drive traffic to your website, to continue to win clients. So why should you invest in high-quality photos even when inventory is so wicked low? In Denver, inventory is horrifically low. We have about 7 days of valid active inventory, which is so crazy hard to deal with. But I still require all of our agents to stage their properties and to hire professional photographers to take the photos. And I'll tell you why. Anytime, even in whatever the inventory looks like, listings are going to sell for faster and for more money if they're staged and professionally photographed. It might not feel like it's worth the effort right now when houses are selling anyway. I mean, you can throw that thing on the market without a picture and you'll still get showings, right, because people are hungry. But high quality professional photos can be used in a million different ways and will continue to drive traffic to your website long after the listing has sold. And I'm going to show you a few different ways how we do that. So I write a blog post about every one of our listings. And in that blog post, I post every single photo. Sometimes there's 35 photos in a blog post, and that's great. I'll tell you why. Because then I take that blog post, and this is as soon as the house goes on the market, I put it on Facebook with a nice photo album of all the pictures. I put it on Google+, I put it on Twitter, and then I pin all of the photos to different albums on Pinterest. And that is the long game for sure. Yeah, a Facebook post goes down the feed, and yeah, tweets only last, as long as they last. But Pinterest, those albums last forever. And they keep getting recycled. It's amazing. I have pins that are 5 years old now that people are still repinning. Some of them have 800 repins or 1,000 repins. And all of that traffic is going back to my blog because I took the time to write a blog post and post all those photos. The number one thing to not do on Pinterest, never ever pin from the MLS. Because what happens to that after that pin, after the house goes under contract? It disappears. And pinners hate dead links. So always make sure that you're controlling your collateral. And I feel like the easiest way to do that is by using your blog. So if you don't already have a blog, it's certainly not too late, and it's only gotten easier. But if only for the purpose of controlling this collateral, please, that's the easiest way to do it. I also
so really quick, just to kind of repeat what you just said, just so everybody gets it. So what she's saying is when you post a pic, make sure that there's a link to it. Is that correct? So so they don't just click on a picture that goes nowhere. Make sure that it goes somewhere, whether maybe it's to a video, maybe it's to your blog, maybe it's to somewhere to do with that property is what you're saying.
And somewhere that you control. Because,
correct.
I mean, houses are selling in a day here. I'm not really putting in all of this effort to sell this house, right? What I'm doing is using the collateral, using the listing photos as part of our long game plan to keep driving traffic back to our website. So when someone sees, this nice Berkeley living room on Pinterest and they click on it, it goes back to the blog post about this property. But the main point is it goes back to our website. And so then they stick, right? They want to see more blog posts like this. They want to see what else, we have on the market, even if this property is already sold. So that's really like the payoff and the ROI of all of this time. It's just controlling it all and bringing it all back around and making the most out of all of this, collateral. I also put it on, different sites like Flickr, House Happy, even Zillow Digs. Anywhere where you can find a place to put these photos online that will always end up back at your website, I think it's always worth the effort. Because people that love these certain platforms, that's where they hang out. That's where you're going to capture them from. So, does that make sense, Scott?
Absolutely. And I love the fact, because, guys, I'm telling you, if you go to Stacy, and she's going to give you a bunch of links at the end, but one of the things I really liked from the last time you did this class is you put all of it, so you have, third-party verification with all your sold properties. I don't know why that just stuck with me, but that was one thing that I just thought, well, how brilliant is that? So you can walk into a brand new listing going, here's what I specialize in, and it's literally full of sold, and they all go to, I'm guessing, a listing, some kind of listing thing that actually has property information or whatever. So you continue to build your brand, you continue to stay out there on the social media sites, on the Google, on all that stuff.
Exactly.
So I love everything you're doing here. Yeah, all of them. Yep.
And this is all stuff that stuns sellers when you go into a listing appointment. If you're competing for a listing and you go in and you go, these are all the places where your listing is going to appear, yeah, of course it's going to be on Zillow, it's going to be on Trulia, it's going to be on Realtor.com, because if it's on the MLS, that's nothing special. But if you're doing all of this kind of extra exposure, sellers are just like, wow, they can't believe that you put the effort into that. So the next category that I love to remind agents to make sure and take advantage of is their happy clients. And this is something I talked about last time, and it certainly hasn't gotten any less important. but keep taking those photos of you with your happy clients and with your happy clients in front of the house that you sold them. There's a lot of opportunities to do this. Sometimes I do it at inspection. Sometimes I do it on the final walkthrough, at the closing table. And the biggest payoff is when your clients start posting for you. And they tag you in that post. Nothing looks more impressive to the rest of your sphere than your happy clients. And especially they see that their mutual friend used you, so who are they going to call? They're going to call you. So keep reminding them that you're a realtor, but do it by telling your story. And the story of your clients, and expressing your happiness and joy for them, not just like at the closing table. Don't just check in at the title company. Like, take a great picture. It only takes an extra second. And now a lot of agents are taking it, not a lot, some agents are taking it to the next level by doing testimonial videos. And I think there is nothing more powerful than a testimonial video as far as having people believe that you're a great agent and hearing it from your client.
Hey, one question, and I just thought of this, and I'm kind of like throwing stuff out there just randomly. So when you're showing homes, would it not be like to say, hey, I don't know which house is going to be best for you. Why don't we take some pics with you in front of the home just so you remember what the front looks like? And then I'll take notes underneath that. So you literally have, like, whatever one they go with, you have that ready to go when they decide on that home for the actual picture. Congratulations on your new home type thing.
Yeah, that would be an awesome opportunity. And you know what that would help avoid? You know what happened to someone in my office the other day? She got an offer on her listing and, was preparing a counter and then got a phone call from the agent. Oops, so we accidentally wrote an offer on the wrong listing.
Oh, my God.
Insane is that? But if that agent had taken the time to do that, maybe that could have avoided it.
Hey, here's a question for you that, and I think this is a great question. That's why I wanted to know. How do you feel about taking your old collateral and playing catch up, blogging it after the fact?
Absolutely. And you know what? Right now our market's moving so fast. Sometimes I don't even get all of this done while a listing's on the market. Sometimes it's already under contract. So if you go to liveurbanddenver.com and go through our blog, you'll find a few posts lately that are more telling the story of how this house went under contract in one day. So I do a little interview with the agent and ask them, if they did anything special, why they think the house sold so fast, do they think it was still worth investing in, staging and photography? How many showings did they have? How many offers did they get? People love hearing those kinds of stories, and I still put all the photos in that post so that I have something to pin. So yeah, I think don't think of it as a missed opportunity if you don't get it done right away by any means.
Right.
So these two examples, Greg Gelman and the Seattle Divas up in Washington, Greg's in California, they do a great job, and their links will be on my list, of getting testimonials from their clients. They do it in a really cute, genuine way, and I just love what they're doing. But it doesn't have to be professionally shot either. You could always just have your iPhone at the closing and ask your client a few questions. It doesn't have to be too complicated. So the next category, I call it the days of your life. And it's just a reminder that you should be taking pictures of yourself on the job and when you're out and about and sharing what you're doing. Just the same as you share that you're at your kid's kindergarten graduation and that you're at your, a wedding engagement party or whatever. This is how you spend your days, and people find that very interesting, especially if you tell a story. And even if you're at a sewer inspection, that's interesting to some people, believe it or not. And so the other thing this does is remind people that you're a realtor without you having to ask for the business. And what's better than that? Just these little reminders capturing your day. And you can use these, in your marketing materials, in your flyers. You never know when the need's going to come up for something like this. So always creating that collateral and not missing those opportunities, I think is really important. Instagram like crazy. You can't put too many photos on that.
I love that platform. Yeah.
And people who, my friends Travi and Cam, they're the Seattle Divas. They work up in Seattle. They do such a good job of this. So if you look for Team Diva Real Estate on Facebook, or you'll find a link to their website on my list, Like, this was a perfect example. They took their dogs for a walk and turned it into great collateral. They wrote a blog post about it and what they found in the neighborhood, what they came across. They took a bunch of pictures. They Instagrammed it. They tweeted it. And now it lives forever on their blog. And it was a day off. So it just shows, like, the people that are honestly hustling and on top of it and recognize these opportunities, that pays them back for a long time. And if you search, you know, what's it like to live in Belltown, you're likely to find this blog post. So always pays off to take a minute and do it.
You know, the best picture, I think it was 2 slides ago, and I didn't want to interrupt your flow, though, but the one right there where they're holding the signs, that is the coolest picture.
I know, see, just those moments.
That is so cool. I mean, that shows excitement. I mean, how can you not be excited holding that sign? You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. So a few other moments. This is my friend Heather. She works with Coldwell Banker in California. She does a great job of just kind of like live blogging her day on Facebook, and she's on Instagram a ton. She's known for just taking goofy pictures of herself in front of her listings. And then
yeah, but she's known for it, though. I mean, that's the whole key. Yeah.
Quite a reputation. An artsy picture of a lockbox, for goodness sake. And this was taken by Robin Phipps. She's a realtor in Denver. Her client took a photo of the lockbox on his doorknob and posted it. So she shared that with her sphere. And then on the bottom, Nikki Beauchamp, she's a great agent up in New York City, and I love the photos that she takes just as she's walking to appointments or meeting people. And she also has quite a series of the David Beckham billboards that everyone enjoys. So I always look forward to those. But just showing that we're also
having fun,
right?
Yeah, having fun, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to go back to videos for a minute just because I think they're becoming not only more and more important, but also more and more accessible to create a high-quality video that will do a lot as far as to drive your marketing. A couple of examples. Last year at Live Urban, we put together a 1-minute intro video for each of our agents. So now we have a library of those on Pinterest and on YouTube. They also live on each of the agents' bio pages. And I put Billy and Tracy's on here. They're on the bottom left because Tracy just called me the other day and told me she got a deal off that video. So always love to hear that. But what can happen, I think, especially when you're on a team or like in an agency with a lot of different brokers, people are looking for a personality that they can really mesh with. So in these videos, it's not like a straightforward, hi, I'm Heather, and I sell real estate. It's more like I just ask them questions like, what's your favorite neighborhood? Where do you love to eat in that neighborhood? What's your favorite kind of architecture? And kind of let their personalities and their niche shine through. And I think people really relate to those, and they'll find someone that they can connect with as they go.
It's funny you bring that up because I think this is a big one. This is a great point about the personality because you are who you are, and people want to work with that type of person. So don't act, be who you are, and then it's okay if people don't want to work with you. It's okay, but there's so many more people that will connect with you or engage with you or relate to who you are if you're having fun. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the biggest example of that is Gary Vaynerchuk, and I follow him religiously, and he's crazy. I mean, he's off the hook, and he at first tried to be somebody that he's not, and he's like, you know what? I need to be I need to be who I am to have fun. So he went off and said, I probably lose thousands of followers every day because of my intro. But he says, that's who I am. So if you like me, great. If you don't, it's okay.
I so agree with that. And we're really careful when we hire at Live Urban. We don't recruit agents. We turn a lot more people away than we bring on. And it's for exactly that reason. Like if we find that they are not comfortable with themselves and who they are within their business, they just don't tend to succeed. So I think it's really important, especially as, what is the stat now? 86% of all people find their agent online or something, or start their home search online. I think it's really important to have that collateral out there that helps express who you are and how you work. Bringing that up, a great example is Ann Jones down in the corner and her friend Marguerite Gager. They're up in Tacoma. They have a series of videos they've put together, and they were professionally filmed, but they're very simple and very casual, and it's just the two of them having a conversation about different things that come up throughout the real estate transaction. So they have what to expect after your home inspection, what happens if your house doesn't appraise, and this one was buying your next house. What happens if you find a house but you still need to sell theirs, and different strategies they have for dealing with that. And they block out like a whole day and film a bunch of these in a row, and just kind of release one every Friday. So the way they do that then is they put it up on their website and they Facebook about it. They take a 15-second clip out of it and put it on Instagram, and they tweet about it. So they push it out in all these different ways. And then what they find is that people go to watch that video and they get stuck and they keep watching them. So that's really cool that they've built this library of truly useful, entertaining information. So if you can come up with something like that, I think that would be such a great way to express yourself in your business and promote yourself. Because frankly, you guys, not a lot of people are using these tools and doing this. Everyone says they're going to, but no one actually does it. So,
you know, and I have that written down, and I'll save it for the end. Like, okay, why is it that there's no competition in this realm of what you're talking about here, videos and pictures, and because it takes extra time. I had one agent go, okay, how do I incorporate this into my life? I go, well, when you take a picture, just click this button on Pinterest instead of that button on your phone, right? I mean,
exactly.
That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, and it's just taking, you know, the foresight and like just thinking about it and time blocking it. You know, it doesn't have to be millions of hours or a huge production, but just putting it on your to-do list and actually doing it is the challenge. So another thing we're doing, and an idea for y'all, is we're doing these little neighborhood kind of promo videos. They're a minute long. We're lucky to have a relationship with a videographer who's as excited about this as we are, so he's been pumping them out. He just drives around the different neighborhoods and has a representation in each one of them as far as the architecture in the neighborhood, the vibe, the restaurants, the bars, the, you know, parks, all of that. And they're literally like 1 minute. So those just live on our neighborhood pages. We also push those out, you know, on Pinterest, on Facebook. Whenever there's a new one, we do a little, you know, marketing push for it. But I think when people are shopping a neighborhood, and especially for relocation, like video has become so important for relo buyers because they really want to get a feel for what it's like to live in a neighborhood, and they want to narrow it down that way before they even come out to look. So we've found that very valuable. Another way we push this kind of stuff out is through BombBomb. So I don't know if you guys have heard a lot about
BombBomb. Yep.
Yeah, we use it a ton. I like to use it even when I'm just driving. Like, if someone emails me and I don't have time to email back but I'm driving, don't tell anyone, I'll just shoot a quick response at a stoplight and be like, hey, it's Stacy, I got your email. Yes, I'll be at your house at 10 o'clock in the morning. I can't wait to see it. See you then. And what that accomplishes is that they already know who's going to be at their door in the morning, even though they've never met me, because they just got a little, you know, slice of my personality, just from a little video.
Oh, wait a minute. You use BombBomb to do that?
Yeah, so they have an app now, and you just, like, it's literally one button on your phone, and you shoot the video, you put who it's to, it pulls from your address book, and you shoot it off, and it lands on
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
that was worth the whole call right there.
I'll make sure
Not that the other stuff wasn't, but that was worth the whole call. Oh, my God. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but BombBomb is an amazing, and I have no affiliation to, I mean, I actually have an account with BombBomb, but I don't have an affiliate or anything, and if Stacy does, I would love to use your link to give you credit for that. But
I don't. I just think they're a great product, honestly.
It's an amazing product. So it has a little button on your phone, so if instead of sending an email, a video message is so, I can't even tell you how powerful that is, especially with what you just said. Can you just repeat that? Like, so when you get an email from somebody and you don't want to, and you're not in you're like stopped in your car, we'll go there.
Mm-hmm.
You just say, hey, I look forward to meeting you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I mean, that's so brilliant on video because they hear your voice, they see you, and it's just a whole different perspective of how they feel about you.
Yeah, and I've also used it to preview homes for people. So I'll, especially reload buyers again, or when the market's moving so fast, sometimes I'll jump over to a house because I'll know by then whether a buyer will be into it or not. And I'll shoot a quick, 30-second email with BombBomb and be like, hey, I think this is your house. You've got to come over here. Like, let me know when we can go see it. And I'll just do like a quick little tour into the front door and into the kitchen or something. So that's really powerful. And no one's using it. It kills me. So yeah, definitely check out bombbomb.com. It's really easy to set up. And they have individual accounts and they have brokerage accounts. So so just this little statistic. I mean, if the average user is watching 186 videos a month, don't you want to get a little bit of that action? I would hope so. So figure out a way to incorporate video into your business, please. So another type of collateral that I think is certainly worth mentioning is community. At our brokerage, we, like I said, we have 60 agents, and they all have different passions, and they all have different ways that they give back. So we try to just support them in that, and also try to help them make their effort successful, whether it's a coat drive or a pet food drive or whatever. But we also turn it into collateral that we can use and reuse all over the different platforms. So some of these examples, we do Habitat for Humanity builds quite often. So we'll shoot video at those. We'll take a ton of pictures. I'll write a blog post about it and letting people know how they can get involved. So that's one way that we use that. There's a local music festival. It's called the Sunnyside Music Festival that a lot of our agents are involved in. So we're proud to be a sponsor of that and help them in that effort, but don't think that I'm not going to take advantage of it by taking a ton of pictures with our logo in it and letting people know that we're a strong supporter of that local effort. Share the Cheer was an effort by Alex Took in my market. He has a company called Peak Properties Group. And I loved, he did like a gift drive and made sure that 10 families had a really Merry Christmas, and he had the help of his whole team. He also did a really good job of documenting it and telling the story through social media and through all of his different platforms. Community is an effort by my friend Joe Scott up in Boston. He owns Unit Real Estate, and he gives back a portion of every transaction proceeds to the local nonprofit of the client's choice. So of course I had to steal that idea, so I started Live and Give.
Nice.
So, yeah, we do it a little different than Joe. We let our agents nominate nonprofits, and we voted on 4 of them. And so every quarter we get to write a big, huge check to each of them, which is awesome, and people love it. So, so I just share that logo everywhere, and now it's just part of Live Urban's story.
Now I got to come up with one, is what you're saying. Holy
yeah.
crap.
If you're not.
Keep up with Stacy. I got to keep up with Stacy.
Exactly. The pressure is on. So just a few more examples of how we share this information. Robin Phipps, again in my area, she's with Keller Williams. She sponsors like a hot chocolate booth at this fundraiser every year, and so she does a great job too of telling her story and promoting her team's efforts, but sharing it in a really genuine way. Not hard sell, not bragging, just saying, hey, this is what we're doing today. And again, we support all of these efforts on Facebook, on Twitter, on Pinterest. Wherever we can push it out and get the information out there, we do it. And you see Joe at the top there. He puts out a great email newsletter. And at the bottom of every one, he talks about his communities program. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
So another, I think, area where agents are really missing a brilliant opportunity is with all the market information that we have access to. It's juicy and yummy, and people want it, and they want it in a format where they can understand it. So linking to your local MLS's market stats page is not the answer. But by repackaging it and pulling out the information that people are looking for, you can really create some nice collateral and drive traffic back to your website or your Facebook page, whatever your goal is. But also, it really sets you up as the expert. When you start, talking about numbers and dissecting the information for people, it really helps them understand that they, one, need a realtor. It's part of our value, especially now that the information is so accessible. Be the one that gives it to them in the format that they're looking for. So I have a few examples. Heather, again, in California, and her husband, they do this little panel once a month with their team members, and they just talk about what's going on in the different neighborhoods and what they're seeing on the streets and what they think is coming next. And Alex up in Toronto, she's the realty queen in Toronto, and she does such a good job. She just flips her iPhone around and does a quick, 2-minute update on what's going on in the Toronto market. She does it in a very real, understandable way, and she's just chatting with you about what's going on. So I think that's such a great opportunity. We do a little monthly infographic, and we really break down the numbers to where they're really digestible for people, and they're the numbers that people are really looking for. And I have to say, we've been doing these for about 1.5 years now, and now when the stats are slower to come out, we have even agents in our market calling us going, where's the market stats? When are you going to put out the infographic? And they share it with our branding all over it. I'm no lie. So super worth the time to take to do, and very easy actually. We use InDesign to put ours together, but I've also seen people using Canva lately, so canva.com. A really great, easy to use, impressive tool for creating your own infographics. So think about how you could use that in your marketplace and kind of tell the story of your market in a JPEG. There's nothing better than that. I also print these out. We put them in our listing presentations. We hang them in our office. We have them outside in a little box for people to take, and people take them all the time.
I think Stacy, another good way, like with the information you already said it, but just to do a video on your thoughts of what this means, like where it says 2,807 properties went under contract. What does that mean? Like you said, when you take all this really good stuff of the information that's what's going on out there, and you turn it into a video, it's so much more powerful because now you're building your brand. You're letting them hear you, see you. You literally elevate who you are as far as a real estate agent because you're on video, and there's so few people doing video. Now you're just looked at as a higher end real estate agent because you are on videos. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree. I totally agree. And I think, like you said, there are so few people doing it. I'm willing to bet wherever you're listening from, there's maybe one person in your market doing it, and they might not even be doing it very well. So don't be afraid to jump in there and try it. And if it doesn't feel natural to you and it doesn't feel right, try something else, obviously. But always remember, too, though, it's a long game. Like building up a library of this information is huge. The other example I have on this slide is my friend Ara. He owns Spring Realty up in Toronto. Those Canadians are doing it right, I'm telling you. A lot of these examples are from Canada. He just does a quick little market snapshot. Sometimes he writes it on a napkin at the bar. This one he wrote it on his tax bill. He wrote it on his assistant's arm. And it's something too, like when he skipped a couple months of doing it, people started bugging him for it. Like, all right, where's your market update? So yeah, it really was, it made it real for him. Like, wow, I'm doing something right here. People really like that stuff. So a couple other examples. The Brell team, they're also in Canada, Melanie and Brendan. They do a market snapshot for every one of their every one of their main niche neighborhoods. So they really break it down, and people really like that information. They have seen business directly from it, actually. And then a more straightforward one, maybe a little less, sexy, but the Berkshire Group in Denver, they do a great job of providing the stats that people are looking for, and they put it in a blog post, and it brings traffic to their blog every month. They've been doing it for years. They were kind of like the starters here, so I always look up to them for inspiration. So other types of blog posts, and let me tell you, if you're not already blogging, a lot of people think that they're not going to be able to think of anything to blog about, right? I find that the bigger problem is finding and making the time to blog. So I wanted to give you a few examples of how agents that I know are kind of using blogs to their advantage and using them to promote their business. So how important are good hospitals to home values in Denver? This was written by an agent in my office. His name's Nick Ortega. His little boy went through a health crisis at the beginning of the year, and he was there for about a month with him. So, of course, being the guy that he is, he pounded out a blog post about, hey, what a difference do these good hospitals make to home values? And he really analyzed that and broke that down. And he probably would have never thought about that had it not come up, but the opportunity then arose, and so he really took advantage of it, which is really cool. Marguerite up in Tacoma, she does like coffee shop reviews, which is information that shockingly people are looking for. Where's the best coffee in Tacoma? She definitely has the answer, and she puts all of that stuff on her blog, which is also helping those small business owners in her market. So at the bottom, 30 days to listing your house for sale, and she broke it down into 2 big blog posts. This was at a time when their market was literally at a standstill. They had no inventory. So she was like, what can I do to help people get right? How can I push sellers off the fence? And so she came up with this, and it's a great list. And a lot of people are, sorry to interrupt you, a lot of people are asking about links to all this stuff, and I believe you have the links to everything that you're showing and all the stuff that she's going to provide that to us, correct? Yeah, I do. I have a couple things
Okay.
I need to, I just didn't quite get finished with it this morning going through this,
Sure,
but as
sure.
soon as I have it done, I'll send it to you, Scott.
So what we'll do is, so we'll put this recording up along with her PowerPoint, and then when she has the links available, we'll put that just underneath the PowerPoint. So get with the loan professional that sent you here to get a copy of the recording, PowerPoint, and all the links to all of Stacy's amazing stuff that she's sharing with us.
Perfect, and I'll definitely have that done by this afternoon.
No
I was
worries.
almost done. And then again, just little market snapshots, so we know low inventory could lead to more bidding wars. Always kind of thinking about like what's going on in the market, and for us that has definitely been like we need sellers, we need inventory. How can we express that and reach different parts of the marketplace in different ways? So just telling that story again, like this one, under contract in 2 days, like that is really helping convince people like, okay, it really is a great time to sell.
Yeah.
So neighborhood information, I think, is another category of collateral that a lot of people aren't taking advantage of. So what we've done is taken we have a page on our website for each of our, main city neighborhoods. And then I also have a Pinterest board for each of them. And I don't know how many of you have played around with Pinterest maps, but they're so super fun. So like this one, this is where my office is in Northwest Denver. So I created the Live in Highlands Denver Pinterest board and a map to go along with it. And it is super easy to do. But now when people are thinking about moving to the Highlands and they're looking, say, at a house on 32nd and Lowell, they can look on the Pinterest map, okay, where's the house? Now, where is that in, in relation to all of these cool bars and restaurants that are pinned here, and the parks and the museums and the, where's the downtown access? So yeah, you can really see that in the, I try to link back to that in the different blog posts as I write them.
Looks like I need to do a Pinterest class again.
Yeah, Pinterest is where it's at. 4th largest driver of traffic. It's huge.
No.
So another idea for creating engagement on your Facebook page and growing your follower base on platforms like Twitter and Instagram and did I say Twitter? And Google+, all those different platforms, we like to come up with little promotions. So this one over the winter was Hook Your House Up for the Holidays. We gave away a $500 holiday makeover for someone's house. And to enter, they had to like our Facebook page, like us, or follow us on Twitter, and pin one of the pictures from our holiday board. We promoted it for about a month. We had over 1,000 entries. And then the Pinterest board that you see here is one that I created with the results of our makeover. So I took pictures all around the house and showed what we did with the house. So people really love that.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we're doing that on a quarterly basis now. So we just wrapped up a garden makeover, and the girl who won, we partner with, for this one we partnered with a stager. For the garden one, we're partnering with a local green landscaper. So.
Oh my God, that's so brilliant! So you're doing that every 3 months for like for a season or something like that?
Yeah, every quarter. Yeah, we're going to do it every quarter. Yeah, I think the next one's going to be a feng shui makeover. So I'm excited about that.
That was worth the whole call on it. So there's so many good nuggets here, guys. I hope you're not multitasking, because this is brilliant. So great job on that idea.
And I wanted to, so here's a couple more, and it doesn't have to be a $500 makeover either. It could be as simple as, pin a picture of a flower garden and win a $100 gift card to Home Depot. Or I love this one in the middle, like during snowpocalypse, like you were talking about before we started.
Yeah, polar vortex, right.
Leslie Lambert, she gave away a Dunkin' Donuts gift card. How easy is that? So you just had to go to her website, fill out a simple little form to win. So she was capturing information, she was creating engagement, she was growing her follower base. I mean, it's all good stuff. And then Amir Shahi, he's also in Toronto, he calls himself the Toronto real estate guy, was giving away, some little Valentine's presents. So it doesn't have to be brain surgery. It doesn't have to be, $1,000, gift certificate or anything like that. Make it easy and just make it fun. So just to start kind of wrapping it up, cool places to borrow content and inspiration. Obviously, always link back to the original source. But these are places where I go when I feel a little stuck. I'll go to Brightness, which was recently acquired by Angie's List, but is still a great source for information. And they don't care how you use it as long as you link back to them. Same thing with Doorsteps. If you guys aren't familiar with Doorsteps, it's a great resource for home buyers and for realtors to manage transactions in a really fun way. They also just released an app called Doorsteps Swipe, It's the funnest real estate app. I mean, I don't know how many fun ones there are.
What's it called? Doorstep
Doorstep
Swipe?
Swipe. Yeah, so it's kind of like Tinder for real estate. So what happens is you put in all of your parameters, where you're thinking of buying, in what price range. You can narrow it down even to like bedroom, bath, square footage, all of that. But what it does is just pop out the main listing photo for each listing. And you swipe it to the left if you don't like it, swipe it to the right if you do like it. And it really helps you kind of narrow down what you're attracted to in real estate as far as real estate goes, especially like architecture-wise and stuff like that. And then it goes to a summary. So it'll tell you the average price of the homes that you swiped right, and the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, and where it's built. It's pretty crazy, and it's so fun to play around with.
Cool.
Other good sources, of course, you guys know the guys from BreakthroughBroker.com.
Absolutely, Eric, love him. Yep, love what he's doing there.
Always putting out good stuff. House and House Logic are also really good sources for content.
All right.
Always, of course, put your own spin on it, add your own information or thoughts, and always provide a link back. And then these are platforms that I've been playing around with and having some success with. Vine is one of them. They, 15-second videos. Those are super fun and easy to do. Snapchat. I have been using Snapchat to communicate with, obviously younger clients lately. And they really appreciate it. They're on Snapchat all day. So if you're the only realtor that will communicate with someone on Snapchat,
that's so crazy. It's so crazy. Doing that.
It's so fun though. And
I know it's crazy.
I think Paper's kind of catching on. It's the new, Facebook app, and it's a new Facebook experience. But what Paper does is it really reiterates the importance of awesome photos, to be honest, because the photos just show up so big and so huge. And so obviously some of these book goodies, Scoop It, Reddit, and Tumblr are all places where you can, keep pushing that information out, and those all have their own audiences. So,
amazing.
Yeah, that's it. And like I said, I'll get you the links, Scott, so that you can.
Okay, cool. Well, we have a ton of questions.
Okay.
One of the biggest, Stacy, I literally have a whole. Hey, Robbie, now kind of answered your question. Why is she doing so well, Robbie?
Oh my gosh, Scott. you know what my biggest question is?
Yeah,
how do you sell real estate? I mean, how long do you blog all day to do this?
She has a team, though. That's the crazy part about so. She did over $60 million last year. She's now the marketing person for her team of 3.
Okay.
So there's 2 other people that sell real estate, correct? Work with buyers, sellers. You keep the marketing going. So what is the cost of not having a marketing person on your team? That's the number you have to look at. It's not what's the cost. What's the cost not to have it? That's the way I look at it. So,
well, and here's the thing. I do all this myself because this is what I love to do. But I could also hire my 15-year-old daughter to do a lot of this stuff. And I probably will, over the summer, have her start taking on some of these tasks for me. There's no reason why she can't build a blog post and post it on Facebook and post it on Twitter and post it on Google+.
No question.
This is stuff that certainly an intern could do.
No question.
Yeah, so it's more just setting up systems and making it a regular thing. Like every time I get a listing, I do this. Every time I hold an open house, I do this. Every time so that you it starts to become like second nature. And a lot of it also is just while I'm in the field. So I'm at an inspection, I'm at an appraisal, I'm at a closing. All of these things, I'm showing houses. I mean, you wouldn't believe the pictures I take of, funny things that I see in listings, or, of beautiful views that I come across while I'm showing houses. Every minute that you're out with a buyer and they're talking about where to put the TV, you could be creating collateral for yourself and using it in your business. And like I said, it can last a really long time.
You could actually do the TV thing. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask one question. So, Stacy, you are the marketing person for your team. Let's say an agent's watching this webinar and they don't have a marketing person, and they're just starting out and they want to grow. Where would you recommend they start first, or how much time should they blog so that they can build up their business to get an assistant and things like that? I mean, so 2 questions here. Where would you recommend they start if they can only do a few things, and how much time would they spend?
So first and foremost, I think a blog is the easiest and most effective place to place your time as a realtor. And this does not have to be sitting down for 3 hours every day and writing a 2,000-word blog post. Not at all. A blog post can be as simple as a picture of flowers that you Instagrammed, on your way into work that morning, and talking about like how happy you are that spring is here. As long as you're, though, consistent, like every Friday put out a market report, or the first of every month put out the stats, or every time you have a closing, post the picture of your happy client in front of their house. Those are all things that we're doing anyway. It's just taking an extra literally 5 minutes to throw it into a blog post. Go on to Bright Nest and find an article that catches your attention, put it on your blog with your thoughts about it, and there you go. It doesn't have to be super time consuming. So the blog
it's got to be part of your day.
Consistency.
It's got to be part of your day. It's got to be consistent. Yeah.
One resource that I use, Katie Lance. So if you go to katielance.com, she has a fantastic content calendar that really helped me stay on track for a long time. And now it's become second nature. Like, I know what I do on Fridays. I know what I do on Mondays. But that's a great resource. If you go to katielance.com and sign up for her newsletter, she'll send you that content calendar, and it's great. It's fantastic.
K-A-T-I-E-L-A-N-D-S?
Yep, KATIELANCE.com.
L-A-N-T-E?
Yeah, Katie Lance. She's been doing marketing for real estate pros for a really long time, and she really knows her stuff. You'll find a lot of good information on her website, actually.
So how about, have you ever used Fiverr, Fiverr.com, to do, I guess there's a $4 now for $4, but to write any of your content? Yeah,
I have. And you know what I used to use them for, too, before PicMonkey came along and made it so easy to create those photos with text on them. And there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. I like PicMonkey. But I used to use Fiverr a lot for that kind of stuff because I just didn't have the graphic design skills. It would take me forever, to do the things that they could pump out in 2 minutes.
And they'll actually set up a blog for you too. I mean, they'll set up a WordPress blog for you. You give them a title. Like we did video marketing one time, and the article come back. It was really good. We wanted to pick one that we actually knew something about. But I mean, so Fiverr.com for $5. You don't have to sit around trying to think about what to write. Go there, find out what's trending. Set up some Google alerts or something. Find out what's trending and say, hey, write an article on this and see what comes back. And maybe use it, maybe you won't. Maybe get 2 different versions for $10. While you're out doing a video or something, something like that.
Absolutely. Now I always say, like, if it's something you struggle with or it's something that you find really tedious, it's not worth doing. So if you really don't get Pinterest and you, like, really don't understand the point or you just find, like, oh, my gosh, now I have to pin those things, like, get someone else to do that for you. Get your wife to do it. Get your daughter to do it. There's someone in your world, I promise, that likes to do it.
Absolutely. Find them, do what you love. So the infographics was PicMonkey, right? Is that for the infographics you talked about?
Yeah, so PICMONKEY.com is the place where you can drag in a photo and put text on top of it in millions of different fonts. And then Canva.com, CANVA.com is a really nice user-friendly site for creating your own infographics.
CANVA?
Yeah.
Okay. Canva.com. All right.
Yep.
So what do you think about Buy and Thrive? Not quite as catchy as yours. I'll work on that. Buy and Thrive.
So I have a question.
Go ahead, Rob.
So if we create all this really cool content and we put it on our blog or we build a website, what's the best way to drive people to become a subscriber to your site? I mean, it's one thing to have a website or have this cool content, but then how do we get the people to follow you? What's the easiest way?
I don't think RSS feeds are what they used to be. So we do have a call to action to sign up for our newsletter. We put out a monthly e-newsletter. But I really find that getting people to like you on Facebook is really the most, relevant way and easy way to stay in front of them. Also getting them to put you in their Google Plus circles and follow you on Pinterest, and follow you on Twitter. I really feel like those are the going forward most valuable ways to stay in front of people. I am not knocking email marketing by any means. I'm a huge believer in it, and we put out a really nice newsletter. But people don't unsubscribe from it by any means. But I really feel like that day-to-day interaction and opportunity for engagement is so much more important.
Mm.
So Facebook, would you, I don't know, you do them all so well, but would you, like, if you had to, okay, so, like, there's a lot of people going, okay, man, Stacy, this is awesome, but you literally covered, I mean, I have a whole page of stuff. Like, which one, if you had to pick one, which one would you, if you knowing what you know now, start over from scratch, we're going to drop you off in Florida, and you got to start all over, which one would you start with?
I still live on Facebook.
Live on Facebook, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
and it's
okay.
still where I get the bulk of my business.
Okay, so personal page or business page?
So I've done it all. I do have a Stacy Staub, Metro Denver real estate business page. I don't use it that much, and I'm a huge believer in your personal page and using it right. You will grow your business, but I'm still go back to the 90-10 rule. 90% of your posts should not be directly real estate related or asking for business. The other 10% can be, but do it in a genuine,
cool way.
engaging way. Exactly.
Testimonials.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you. I think I'm so glad you went that way because people want to do business with who they know, like, and trust, and I think personal page all the way wins 100% of the time because they're liking you. They get to like your page. They get to friend you. They friend request. You can only have 5,000, but if you have 5,000 friends that know, like, and trust you, trust me, you're not going to need any more.
Exactly. And for agents, I just think it's so important too to have a really strong referral base. So when someone asks me, oh, I'm moving to California, I know exactly who to go to, and it's only because I know people on Facebook. And I get business out of that all the time. People know that I'm the Denver girl. I talk about Denver on my Facebook page a lot, and it's not just because I love it, I do, but it's also just to remind people, like, this is where I live, this is what I know, this is where I work. Please, I don't have to ask for those referrals. I'm just the person that pops up in their heads because they see me in their Facebook feed all the time talking about how much I love it. So really important to friend other agents, and your group is so good for that Agent Mastermind group too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Now, do you? And I didn't. Sad to say, I hate to admit this, but on your personal page, you can actually promote a post. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, I do it sometimes, especially if I say something really funny. No, I'm just kidding.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But if I do something, really brilliant. But yeah, I do think, especially once you promote a post and you get engagement on it, then those people who don't always see your post will see it. So if they like that post, then they'll start seeing more of your posts. So Facebook is becoming a little bit more pay to play. Especially on business pages. Like, if you don't pay to promote your business page posts, hardly anyone is going to see it. But if you throw $5 at it, you'll get 100 times more views. So when I post on the Live Urban real estate page, I always promote those posts, $5 across the board, and we get new followers every day. So. Our new likes.
Hey, excellent. So I know we're coming up on it. Let's see. A couple things big for me. The BombBomb thing's huge. Bobby, is that crazy?
I want to send you a message today on BombBomb, Scott. I'm going to talk to you about that.
I'm not even going to type anymore. I'm just going to click record.
It's crazy. That was the tip of the day, man.
The biggest aha moment for me today, Stacy, was listening to you. You didn't use so much your stuff. You used a lot of what you do, but you've surrounded yourself with amazing, like-minded people who are doing really well in the industry.
And those are, honestly, I've met them all on Facebook, and I've connected with them at different conferences and stuff, but it's who I look to for inspiration all the time. So I love sharing what they're doing because I just think it's so, you guys, I could show you Live Urban logos all day long, but I think it's really important to know that there's millions of different ways to do these kinds of things, and wherever it fits into your lifestyle and your business, that's where you should look to implement some of these ideas.
Yes. Katie Lance, is Katie, Katie, Lance, right?
No, CE, Lance.
CE, sorry. It's Lance, Lance. Thank you.
Yeah.
So a bunch of people, and I was typing it in wrong, so I apologize. Katie, Katie, Lance, as in Charlie, E. Sorry about that.
And those of you who know Katie, make sure and tell her that I mentioned her.
Absolutely, for sure. Katie Ellie, okay, it's a ton of those wanting that. So, guys, to get a copy of the PowerPoint and this brilliant recording by Stacy Stiles, I really, really, I don't know, I'm just honored that I met you and that you're bringing so much value to everybody on this call. And if we missed one of your questions that you just didn't get, please join us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/groups/agent mastermind. And Stacy is a huge contributor of that. I appreciate that sincerely. And God, I wish you had something of you know, I mean, you provide so much value here. So, guys, pick one thing. I guess if I had to pick one thing, I mean, I know this is hard for most, but the video marketing, I can't stress how big that is. Follow Stacy. I love your Instagram posts. I love your Facebook. I mean, I love you're always with your family, with clients, just always doing something that's letting people know who you are, and just brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So,
thanks, Scott.
yeah. So, guys, appreciate you joining us today. Robbie, any last final questions that you noticed from the group that that we might that was kind of sticking out that everybody was asking?
I'm just soaked from drinking from the fire hose.
I
mean, that was if you didn't enjoy this call, you're not enjoying real estate.
Yeah,
This was
and a lot of people missed that because of the holiday, so we'll get the recording up.
Wow.
It's not the recording. Yeah, I know. So a lot of kudos to Stacy. Donna says, amazing, awesome webinar, so much info. So the recording is going to be up. I have it recorded. We always do a couple recordings just to make sure we don't lose anything. And Stacy, I really, really, really sincerely appreciate you working on this. I know it was a family weekend, and I'm glad you got to do some camping. So, any final words for anybody that you would like to leave them with? I know that it's overwhelming for most, and like Robbie said, drinking from a fire hose. Anything? I mean, I guess the one thing I thought of when somebody says, "Where do I start?" You know, guys, it's tough making a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's tough making $500,000 a year, right? That's what I think of.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle. But honestly, like, just figure out what part of it you enjoy and just keep doing it.
Amen. Amen. So figure out what you love to do that part. And if you don't love any of this stuff, find somebody who does, like Stacy. Like, find somebody that can be a part of that team. Guys, I mean, Stacy, if you had to like do it all, how? I mean, I know you have a mindset in this. How fast could you literally do what you're doing right now in a different state altogether? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, I could. It's pretty turnkey, to be honest.
I know.
I think the biggest struggle would be getting to know the marketplace, because otherwise this can be done anywhere using the same kind of strategy. So.
No question. No question. All right. Thank you so much again, Stacy. Robbie, always a pleasure having you here, brother. Sorry you're having a little technical difficulty. Hope you get that worked out. And Stacy, you are welcome back anytime. I'd love to have you. Just love having you on the class. And if everybody could do me a huge favor and go to our private Facebook page and just say thank you to Stacy, that would be greatly appreciated by my end. And just show Stacy some kudos. And guys, thanks so much for joining us. Honored to be a part of your success and a part of your business, part of your lives. See you right here, same time, same place, next week on Agent Mastermind. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.